Thank God it's Friday. Welcome. It's Monday. I was reading on the screen, I guess. It's Monday on Your View. Welcome to the show. My name is Mariah. For Lovey Brown, as always, I have the ladies with me. I guess they forget that you read exactly what you see. Yeah. How are you doing, Nima?
I'm fine. Sometimes the comedy behind this production, it's a show on it.
It's live show.
Yeah, it's a live show.
So we'll be laughing on our own when we come and put a straight face. So I'm grateful to God for the family reunion over the weekend. My in-laws' house was packed full. Going back and forth, my house, back to my kids, just, saw all their cousins. And then my brother and sister also visited. And they brought my niece and nephew. My splitting image of my dad. Every time I see my nephew, that boy, he has my father's all his names. Just something else to my energy. It warms me up from inside. Love him deeply. And so it was really nice over the weekend, really.
Hi, dear Mariam.
I'm
How was
fine.
your weekend?
My weekend was good. It was the Arcane Festival I had been talking about all weekend. I was there and I read. Mariah was there, battalion. She came with her children and
the entire
children. It was a good networking event. I met other authors. It was fantastic, and I'm blessed to have been part of it.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to many more like that. Yes.
How you doing, Obia Jilu? You dey go party today?
No.
Well, looking like $1 million.
My darling.
About to go and sign $1 million check after the show.
My sister, I receive it. I manifest it.
How you doing?
Sometimes you just have to look, be deliberate about how you look so that you don't look like what you're going through at the moment. But I'm grateful to God. Everything is working out. Whatever happens, happens. But God is on the throne, and I'm also getting ready for my TBS. Trade fair. And the ladies are going to come and support me in selling that market. Miriam, Nima has said she's starting the day with me on Friday. We are going to.
If it's Friday, I'll come. Whether you like
No.
I'm telling you,
no. We don't schedule.
Today I have
Come
a
back on your own day.
Exactly. You do 2 days.
You do 2 days. Or yours will be 3 days. So what we are doing,
I'd already made my
Missy has
plans.
a stand at the trade fair this year at TBS.
Yes.
And if you come and shop at our stand, you get a picture with any of the celebrities you are seeing. We'll also be doing the marketing personally. So come for the job.
With bells and everything.
Fantastic.
Get ready to
Oh,
meet
it's gonna
the
be
market.
fun. I trust you. I trust you, BC. You'll sell
Even me, I
market.
will dance. I don't know, I will dance on
I have
the
done
day.
that too.
Okay, please
I
tell
was not
us.
got arrested.
Why?
I need that. No, so you know how that Ecosi Road, that one that goes into the former Daystar Church.
Yes,
You know, it's supposed to be one day. They don't let you go during the day, but sometimes they let you go because of when there's a lot of traffic. Anyways, so it was like 5 a.m. in the morning. He was taking my son to the hospital. So he went straight ahead. Because like 10 policemen at 5 a.m. 10 of them came with their guns, came to him, stop. The told him that he passed one way. He said it's not one way, that it's 5 a.m. in the morning. I'm taking my son to the hospital.
Yes,
Someone was at the back,
time.
sleeping. He didn't care. He entered the car, took him to Alausa.
With the sick
With the boy. The police kept saying, he kept telling them, my son is sick. Finally, the police finally looked back and realized that there's actually a sick
boy.
Now drove him back to the point with other policemen, came down and said that, just give us something. He transferred money to them. Yes, so you had to transfer money. In fact, it was such a horrible situation, but eventually we had to. But the sad thing is that, they collected the money and they even allowed transfer. That is just too obvious.
But the annoying thing is that, there are times when that one way is waived.
They usually waive it.
Sunday. I've known that place for
They waive
years.
it, or even during school hours, they waive it.
Sundays, they do it during school hours, they do it at odd hours.
They waive it. So it was 5 a.m. in the morning, there was no car, he was going straight until they stopped the child at the back and they said, so okay, we don't know that the boy was there. Because you're just saying the boy was
mission to make their own money.
Anyway, it's just important to mention it out there that we are all part of the Nigerian system and it happens to all of us too.
Wow.
All right, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we go through the front pages of the paper. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're going to start with the Nation. Is there anything on Nation this morning? What are the stories you just...
Yes, we took stories,
okay,
yes.
Please
So
go ahead, because I can't see the stories
The story
you took.
on the CBN. You know, the CBN that's the Central Bank of Nigeria, has made an announcement that they're going to be redesigning the Naira 100, 200, 500, and 1,000 Naira notes. And ever since they said that there's been this controversy. So I think over the weekend, the Ministry of Finance claimed that they were not, carried along in that conversation. But the presidency responded to say that one of the reasons they decided to do it was to fish out all those people who are doing illicit transactions. So if you are a legitimate business owner, you will not have an issue with, presenting the Naira to be exchanged, but it will only affect those other people who have been counterfeiting the Naira, doing illicit transactions with the Naira. And they said one of also the reasons they've decided to redesign the Naira is to curb inflation, currency counterfeiting, and, reduce excess cash in circulation. Also, one expert had mentioned the fact that when it comes to monetary policies, every agency that is supposed to be handling it must work hand in hand with each other. That it's very unfortunate that the CBN will do something like this, and then the finance ministry will say they have not carried them along. CBN went ahead to respond to say they actually carried everybody who was supposed to be carried along. They got authentication from the presidency. They were going back and forth to have consultations and negotiations before they brought this out. So the finance minister cannot say that they were not carried along. So it's been, back and forth. Some people are saying that the printing the Naira will also cost us, huge amounts of money in this time.
Yes, so in Port Harcourt on Saturday, the Nigerian Navy NAPTIP, which is the Nigeria Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, and also NSCDC, that's Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, in a collaborative operation, raided 2 brothels in Port Harcourt. They're called Royal Brothel and Cool Breeze Brothel on Azikiwe Road in Dobu area of Port Harcourt, and they shut it down. This is because they had received intelligence and have been tracking these brothels. They had heard that the brothels find a way of trafficking young girls as young as 14 years and forcing them into prostitution. So after their long time investigation, they were able to raid these particular brothels, and they saved 50 of them. 50 prostitutes were saved. And thankfully, the way this report ends is that these children will be counseled and, just properly shown how to live their lives outside prostitution going forward. Right. Well done for this job. Raid. But I mean, these brothels are like open secrets. We see them, but I don't know if anyone really pays attention to the girls that are there. Are they forced into it? What age they are? So well done for this.
So the leader of the Pan-Yoruba Socio-Political Organization, Afenifere, Par Ruben Fashiranti OFR, had a meeting over the weekend and called all Yoruba leaders in Yoruba land. And the meeting was attended by Yoruba leaders from Oyo, Ogun, Ondo, Ekiti, Osun, Lagos, Kogi, and Kwara states. And all of them came together where Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu had presented his manifesto, saying that his vision was for a greater and more prosperous Nigeria where democratic rights, rule of law, justice, and fairness will reign supreme. And then Afenifere responded, saying that they affirm that democracy is the most civilized method of governance and that they support the decision for all qualified citizens to run for office. They also said that they have no doubt that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, offers the best opportunity to produce a government that will fit all a new era of hope, peace, security, harmony again. So in a nutshell, Afenifere has aligned and supported Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's candidacy for president. Moving on quickly now to Vanguard. Buhari backs Emefiele over Nigeria redesign. My gratuity not enough to pay ransom. Wife of kidnapped UI Don pleads. Terror alert. Anxiety grows. Buhari holds emergency security meeting today. Osinbajo, ex-Colombia president, Africa Development Bank, lead new job creation efforts with carbon market. Military kills 8 terrorists in attempt to attack the Niger cantonment. I dare you to stop political ambition of loyalists. Wike challenges IU. 2023, don't let us regret supporting you, Afenifere tells Tinubu. Nigeria loses 70,000 barrels of crude daily. And insecurity will start joint patrol in December, says Southeast governors. Which story are we starting with?
Yes. The gratuity story. So this UI lecturer, Dr. Agbaje, along with some other students from the Moshood Abiola Polytechnic, were kidnapped along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. And the kidnappers have reached out. Sorry, Professor Adigun Agbaje kidnappers have reached out to the families. For the professor, they're asking for 15 million. And for the students, 2 of them are asking for 10 million. Till now, we cannot ascertain the number of people, the entire total number of people kidnapped. But the wife of the professor is saying that even the 50 million, if she was to pay from her gratuity, is not up to that amount. She cannot afford to raise that money. And that he had just gone to Agowe for an endowment that they did by the Awujale of Ijebu land. And it was just going back to Ibadan. She does not think it was a targeted, I think it was a random attack, and that they were just picking up people randomly, and that she needs help to pay this amount of money. And she's asking for assistance. And the union as well have spoken out, asking the security agencies to try and fish out the kidnappers.
Okay.
I have a human interest story.
I had an update that she's been released so far based on...
He's been released? Not in this story.
Yeah, I know, but producer is telling me that she's been released.
Okay.
The professor has been released?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Thank God for that. So a 25-year-old housewife in Maiduguri, Fatima Abubakar, reportedly killed her husband, Goni Abba, with poison. And according to her, she said she carried out the act because she hates the husband. So the husband is a chief imam in that area. And this particular day, he came back from work. She served him food. While he was eating, he started deteriorating, and so he was rushed to the hospital, and he died there. So when, investigation started, they found that it was the suspect who poisoned the husband, and she was arrested. She was asked why she did that. She said she doesn't like marriage. This is actually her second marriage. She ran away from the first one, and then they forced her to marry this one. That every time she goes back to her mother's house to tell her mother she's not interested in having this marriage, she doesn't like the man coming near her. They will send her back, appeal and send her back. And so she just got tired and decided to kill him. That as they were asking her the question, she said she doesn't even feel she's the one that did it. She just can't stand having a man around her.
I'm sure that she has a past.
Okay, let's go on a quick break. Yes. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communications story.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Vanguard. Yes, Miriam had a story. Go ahead, please.
The federal government's efforts to attain global net zero emissions target. Our vice president, that's Yemi Osinbajo, SAN, is a member of a recently formed international steering committee called Africa Carbon Market Initiative, ACMI. And the objective is to facilitate the emergence and growth of markets in Nigeria. And the federal government, on the back of this, is pioneering a voluntary $1 billion worth carbon market on the continent. It's a new and innovative climate change solution which will create energy transition and also millions of new jobs. The ACMI estimates that Nigeria alone can produce up to 30 million carbon credits per year by 2030, which is $20 per credit. That would be worth $500 million annually. And that's just Nigeria alone. And that also this could potentially support over 3 million Nigerian jobs. I always like it when I read stories like this, especially our vice president just knows, sort of gotten his niche and understands where we're going as a future globally, and making sure that Nigeria is part of this movement. So this is good.
Great. So the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timipre Sylvia, at the weekend was at the graduations of students at the Petroleum Training Institute, and where he disclosed that we are losing 700,000 barrels of crude daily as a result of the theft, and this obviously impacted the nation's foreign exchange inflow. He also particularly said, I didn't even know we had a Petroleum Training Institute. So we're saying that the objective of that institute really was to research the use of local materials in crude oil production, stoppage of gas flaring, and commercialization of gas, amongst others. So that's what that institute was created to do. Unfortunately, they lack enough funding. So he's saying that he's going to do what he can to put some more pressure on the National Assembly to ensure that the adequate attention is given to the PTI Act in order so they can attract more funding. According to the DG there, he was saying that just said obviously there's so much more that institute can do to help in the production of crude locally. So we need to actually invest.
Providing human resource for
human capacity development.
Expatriate.
Exactly. Moving on quickly to let's do the Daily Sun. Abuja residents live in fear amid tight security. Southeast governors raise alarm over insecurity, seek federal government intervention. 2023, Atiku more grounded in grassroots politics than Tinubu, says PDP national youth leader. Osinbajo, ex-Colombian president, Africa Development Bank, leads new job creation efforts in Africa. Lagos transporters begin 7-day strike today, say no going back. Tinubu, Atiku will be others asked to publish sources of campaign funding. And Wike coalition dare IU to stop Ortom and others. Okay, which story?
Lagos transporters quickly. Yes. So the national leader of the Joint Drivers Welfare Association of Nigeria in Lagos are on strike as of this morning. And you can see the effect already because some of their buses are off the road. And they're saying that, they wrote to demand better, means of payment, that they consider what they call the payment system in Lagos an extortion. So they had written to the Lagos State representatives, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Transport, Engineer Toriola, the Motor Park Management Liaison Officer, the ex-AIG, Akim Odumosu, and in company of their lawyers, and they went for that meeting physically, and they said they were asked to write again on Monday, which they believe is because they don't take them seriously. And they said they allege that, they were threatened by the ex-AIG, Akim Odumosu, that, he said they can't get rid of the bus stops. He said that, they cannot stop the extortionists, that they're working for the state government. Those are the allegations. They also said that, he suggested that MC Olomo can organize thugs to attack and, and they will be blamed and credited for the violence. To attack them, and then they will be blamed and credited for the violence. And all of this fear they had already started seeing. And they called out names. They said right now they're already being, attacked at Bega, Badagry Roundabout, Motor Park Management. They called Jafo of the Caretaker Committee in Iba, Bangoshe, students of the Iba Union, and their allegations are strong. And just because the hardship that can cause to the commuters in Lagos, I hope that the state government, I took this story particularly, the state government intervenes immediately. We don't want to see what happened at Yanoba sometime back, just a few weeks ago. It can be averted. Call them if they're an association registered under the state, manage them, and their issues addressed. And if there are any such allegations of threat to them, they should be managed as well.
Okay, the major headline. So there was, we've had the UK, the US, and other countries, give out security alerts, saying that there's a plan to probably take over by bandits to take over Abuja. That's the Federal Capital Territory. And so there's been a lot of beef up of security in Abuja. However, there was low turnout of church worshippers yesterday. A lot of people were not able to attend service. Most of the churches, they mentioned the names of the churches here, had very few members coming in, even though they had beefed up security in their places. And some members were saying that they've been hearing some of these warnings, and because the US, UK, and other countries have higher form of intelligence and they have evacuated all their diplomats, they trust that they have seen something, and that's why people are taking precautions. Some are saying, we came, we are hoping on God to help us. It's God that protects and all of that. However, the presidency will be meeting with the security chiefs today to see what they can do about the issue.
Oh, yes. So Nigeria claimed her first ever FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup bronze medal.
Wow. Nice.
We just need to add it. I hope people are listening. We're adding it to all the others that we are going to achieving. Yeah. So we'll be coming back on Tuesday from India, and just took the story to say well done. Yes.
Nice. And the Germans were such good sports. They danced with them to the latest raining song. They exchanged their jerseys and danced at...
okay, let's move on. So, Sarah, the letter was sent by Sarah to all the political flag bearers of the major parties, in fact, all the parties, APC, PDP, LP, NNPP, and others, saying that they must demonstrate their leadership by directing their campaign councils and political parties to regularly and widely publish the sources of their campaign funding. According to them, they need to know the source. If you're going to fight corruption when you become president, you must demonstrate that by letting us know where your money is coming from. And they say that they are concerned about the vulnerability of political parties to corruption, disproportionately large donations seeking specific outcomes or preferential treatments can subvert the wider public interest. So they're insisting that let us know where your money is coming from so that we know that indeed that you're going to fight corruption when you do get there. Okay, let's take the points very quickly. Self-interest takes center stage as bigwigs frustrate inter-party reconciliation moves. Terrorism, Kogi government asks security agencies to invite Natasha Ogwagan for questioning. Man bites off wife's lips, ear for allowing goats to feed on rice farm. Oh my Lord. I stand with Southwest on Tinubu, says Makinde. Which story are we taking?
Everybody is just mad in this country. So Mrs. Chinwendu Mbam approached a family law center in Abakaliki, Ebonyi State to seek justice against her husband, Ogwa Mbam, who allegedly assaulted and threatened to kill her on the allegation that she allowed her goats to eat and destroy his farm. So both of them are farmers, and she's actually the second wife to this man. Every year, according to the story, when it's time for harvest, because her farms actually do very well, the man will find one issue or not, send her away, and then harvest and eat her crops with his first wife. They do that yearly, and then she comes back and starts her life all over again. So this time around, she said she was taking her son to the hospital who was ill, and one of their goats was, losing the rope they used to tie the goat, and then he strayed into the husband's rice farm and ate some of the crops. And the man got very upset that she must pay. She said she had agreed that she was going to pay, for it, but the man insisted that she has to leave the farmland and go back to her parents' house, which she does every year. And by the time she comes back, everything is gone. So she refused. The man now bit off her lip, her ear. How was he able to beat her blue and black, disfigured the poor.
The picture.
Yeah, disfigured the poor woman. So she's in court now asking that she gets justice, and I hope that the state will take this up and do something about it.
Oh, she does. The Kogi state government through their Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Fanwu, are accused, and they are asking the security agents to invite and investigate Mrs. Natasha Akpoti, the former governorship candidate in Kogi. She's now Oduaga. I think she's married to Delta. Yeah. And they are saying she must be invited for being an associate of one terrorist called Safio. They said this arrested terrorist, who was noted for being involved in the church attack in Owo, also being involved in the attack in Kuje prison, has continuously been called by the PDP in Kogi State, as well as Mrs. Natasha, as somebody that they know and they are vouching for. This is someone who has been arrested. So they're saying that they definitely are the sponsors of the Safio guy, and that she, along with the PDP in Kogi State, must be invited for questioning and investigated for sponsoring terrorism in Kogi State. They then blame the Kogi Central for accounting for 51% of the crime rates in Kogi State, and put all of that again at her. I'm hoping to hear her response immediately. I trust her. She's very articulate.
Okay, so the Deputy Governor of your state, Bayo Lawal, has said that his principal, Governor Seyi Makinde, was also in alignment with what Anifere has declared for 2023 elections, that he definitely will support anything Baba has said. And yes, they're not from the same party, but he'll definitely support and align with the Afenifere group. I think that is all we can take. You have a story important? I think I have a
NDLEA, as usual, they're on the rampage.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of people. Yes, so people are putting drugs in creams, in tomato paste tins, and all sorts of things. But NDLEA is right on you, and they've caught a few of them. Even a particular village head in Sokoto was caught with some of these drugs. Well done again, NDLEA.
That is all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, move on to our first topic of the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy Eastplash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Thanks for staying with us. So last week, the two superpowers, United States and the British government warned of a possible terrorist attack in Nigeria's federal capital territory, that's Abuja, especially aimed at government buildings, places of worship, schools, amongst other targets. So join us on the show very soon. We have our security expert, Mr. Seyi Adetaya, who is a security and intelligence expert, and we'll also be having at some point the House of Representative Committee on Navy, Honorable Yusuf Gaji, in the moment. But let us speak with Mr. Seyi Adetaya first on this matter. Good morning, sir. Are you there?
I can hear you loud and clear.
I'm glad to have you on the show. So we heard about this story last week. Abuja has been on red alert since last week, and many residents have been scared. BC took the story that some, didn't show up at churches, was quite scanty. What is your own perspective on this? How do you think our government have been able to handle this alert issued by these two major countries?
Yeah, I think we've handled it the best way possible that any nation could handle such. And I know that a lot will be going on within the diplomatic level, considering the relationship that Nigeria as a nation, US and Britain have been enjoying, especially through this journey as we battle insurgency and terrorism in Nigeria. It's quite unfortunate that this kind of alert was issued. It's not the first time that we've seen our American friends acting in this manner. And we can tell you, basically, from my own length of experience, I will work with government, I will work at this level, having also had some form of relationship with those people. I don't think that the action is right. I don't think it's based on any credible intelligence. And from information that I have access to, it shows that it was just a knee-jerk reaction, and whoever took that decision didn't do it in a way that is expected to be done professionally, more or less like someone just trying to tick the box. Yes, we heard that probably there's something, probably they picked up a dog, something that looked like an explosive that was checked not to be an explosive. But it's not the first time that American facilities have received such in different parts of the world. It's not a reason for someone to raise such a panic. Now look at it now. Schools were already closed. Yeah. Businesses were shut. Employees of many companies are afraid to go to work. That is not good for a nation that has been also so good to you. We have been good to America as a nation. And I think that they would deserve that respect and that honor from them as a nation, not to do something that would destabilize us as a nation. We have nowhere else to go. And such panic is not good at this time.
I agree with you, sir, 100%. But I want to ask you, because we always talk about international best practice. If they suspected any form of terror attack, what do you think would have been the right way to go about it? What would they have done? How would they have spoken about it? How would they have, spoken to the government on the next steps to take?
Okay, for example, the line of communication between the U.S. government has been represented in Nigeria, and their Nigerian counterpart is an open one, very active one. There have been lots of intelligence sharing and participation and collaboration. So there's nothing that the American government knows as per Nigeria that Nigeria do not know. Please quote my word anywhere. They don't know 10% of what Nigerian government, Nigerian intelligence agencies know about our own country. There's nothing they can know that we do not know. Please underline this. Okay. Intelligence is not something that comes, some people were born with it. It is about you knowing your house. I cannot know your house as much as you do. And that is the truth. So it's not because the Americans, their intelligence officers are better than us. No, we've worked together. We know that we are far better than them when it comes to this space. So there's nothing they know that our people did not know. And that's something I also want to call our attention to. The fact that the DSS had an operation after that does not mean because they raised an alert. It's because DSS have been having operations before then. But because everywhere there was tension everywhere, people paid attention to the one that happened at that estate. That's the reason why people raised. But they have actually been doing lots of operations that didn't make it to the media. So our people have been working assiduously day and night. You see, Do we have a problem? Yes, we know we have a problem. The problem did not start today. We've gone past through most turbulent period in the annals of this country, and yet they did not pack their things and start asking for authorized departure. Why now? Why now that Abuja has been calm for 7 years? Is it some people are making reference to the prison break in Abuja? In fact, the prison break in Abuja is the least of the prison breaks we've experienced. We've had Kogi prisons, 2 prisons in Kogi, attacked more than 4 times with Boko Haram suspects escaped and they were rearrested. We have other prisons, they had Boko Haram, terrorists been in prison, broken into, and they were released. We have rearrested them.
Right.
So Kuje will not be the first.
Okay.
Most of these guys have been rearrested. So why?
Let me get a few more questions in for you, sir. Go ahead.
Listening to you would seem like the travel advisory that these countries gave their citizens in Nigeria here is the issue, because we are also responding to some form of intelligence that there will be or threats of attacks. Presently in Lagos, the Air Force barracks there, the search they're doing more than a search. In fact, they're stripping and checking every car, vehicle, and everything passing through. So, what exactly is the issue here? That the Americans also had the threats and they issued an advisory to their citizens, or that there's an issue all of us have to sit up at.
You see, if you have been going to some Etnam barrack, that is the protocol there. I go there more than many times. Several AOC there, air officers commanding there are my friends. If they're marking there and the red, I visit them. That is their protocol there. They will check you in, they will check you out. In fact, if you enter from the PWD, you cannot go out from the airport road. That is their protocol. And you see, elevated risk. We know what's is going on in Nigeria. And if you go to the DSS office in Lagos, you see the way the place is. If you go to police command in Ikeja, you see the way it is. They understand what we are going through, and everybody has put some level of security and fortification. Could there be possible attacks in Abuja? Yes, because attacks can happen anywhere at any time. But is it something beyond what we have ever seen? The answer is no. We should not forget the fact that these people too have been degraded considerably. The capacity to carry out such attack has been reduced drastically. Can they carry an attack? Yes. But what is the impact of the attack they can carry? It will be minimal, and that is the truth. We must give kudos to our security and law enforcement agency. We must give kudos to what government is trying to do. Is it the best that we can get now? No. We agree. We can do more than that. But has it gotten to a level where we put the whole nation in hysteria, in this kind of a fear? The answer is no. We're losing money by the day. This fear is making the country to lose money, and then the fear and the trust of the people is eroding by the day. It's not the best for us.
Okay, please help me understand this, because the way I understand it is that they gave a travel advisory to their citizens. And it's made public, and then we came across, the information. And whether we like it or not, worldwide, a lot of people have just this trust for the United States intelligence when it comes to things like that. We just feel that they have more resources to be able to gather, proper intelligence. And so our response to what they are telling their citizens, I think it is normal. But what should have been our own response to our own citizens is what I feel we should concentrate on. How should the government, how will the government allay fears? And if the government is also unhappy about it, instead of just making it back and forth in the media and social media, is there like a way to ask the United States or the UK to write maybe a proper like an apology or explain themselves better, so it's it's official instead of what we are hearing over the media? Social media.
I started by saying that apart from the public response, that I believe that so much must be going within the diplomatic level, and I don't want to speak to that. I know that Nigeria would definitely must have responded using diplomatic channels to challenge this. We should not forget the fact that a similar thing was issued 2 or 3 days after concerning South Africa. And the president of South Africa came out and challenged them. So the truth is this, you know, when you keep quiet, then it gets stuck on you. And when you see things like this, you call it out. Like I said, it is not the first time that they will do this. They did this similar thing some years ago in Maiduguri, where they just started removing their things within 12 hours. Brought aircraft, moving all their vehicles, everything. Everybody in Maiduguri became scared. Our security agents became scared. They were like, what did these people know that they do not know? They started even doubting their own intelligence. But alas, nothing happened. It was nothing. And at times when you see, you know, foreign countries behaving like this, it might be to a particular, you know, end. Maybe they want to, you know, make you to act in a particular manner, or because they want to use to get something from you. Please, no matter what we do, Nigeria is intelligent enough. And we have leaders that are experienced, that understand how these things work. And secondly, you send a message to your citizens. Then the second thing is that you issued an authorized departure, asking that the family members should leave. And I had opportunity of seeing that authorized the message to the citizen, saying that not that you have seen there is any elevated risk against them that affect them personally, but because of some things that you are seeing that there is a higher risk, you know, of things, so you are asking them to leave. For crying out loud, that is not good. Not for a country that have been, you know, supporting you all this while.
But is there a breakdown? Sir, can I ask this question? Is there a breakdown of communication between our intelligence and the American intelligence? Because the truth is, if there was that continuous report, maybe both countries can then see all the various things that they observed to start this terror alert. Because many people felt that if there was a smooth conversation or communication between the Nigerian government and the U.S. government, maybe this may have never happened.
Okay, number one, let me tell you something. Let me make something clear. This is Nigerian territory. It's our country. We know nobody any responsibility of intelligence. If we share with you, we share with you because we feel probably you have something to contribute. We don't owe anybody the right to share intelligence with you. Okay. It's just based on reciprocity. Reciprocity. We need to understand this. We do not owe them. Because America will not share intelligence of what happens in their own country with the Nigerian embassy in the US. So it's not that you can hold on and say, oh, we're not sharing. We don't owe you. But if we share with you, you're being in Nigeria because you have interest in Nigeria. So if you want to remain in Nigeria, remain peacefully as our visitor in our country. And they will welcome you, will treat you as such. That is how it works. If Nigerians are in the US, they are there as visitors. We are to stay with them and work with them. We will not hold nobody intelligence as to what happened in Nigeria. If we share with you, it is based on relationship. So we need to understand this. Nigeria is not subservient to any country.
All right, let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Esther, you're late.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing now. We have in the studio with us the member House Committee on Navy, Honorable Yusuf Gaji. Welcome to the show, sir. Are you there?
Good morning, my sister.
Good to have you. So we've been speaking with Mr. Sheyi Adeta, who's a security and intelligence expert, and he was sharing with us his disappointment in the American and UK government for issuing this terror alerts, causing panic into the country. I'd like to hear your own perspective on this. Since the terror alerts, obviously, residents within the FCT have been quite uneasy and they haven't been able to go about their usual business. What are your perspective on this? And do you think these two superpowers could have done a better job in extending this communication to their citizens within Nigeria?
I think the government and the leadership of the United States of America, through their embassy in Abuja, are very, very unfair to Nigeria as a sovereign nation, as a parliament. I need to call it the way it is, and speak for the people of the country. Yes, I agree the sophistication of the United States of America in terms of their capacity to detect some of this terror, intelligence, gather intelligence, but Nigeria is a sovereign nation. that for crying out loud, if there is anything in that nature that United States of America have detected, I believe there is a better channel. They would have responded, they would have collaborated, they would have communicated the various security agencies in Nigeria, being a sovereign state. But for them to just come up and blow some of those information the way they did, that is an insult on the sovereignty of this country, and it is unacceptable to me as a representative of the people of Nigeria. I think America have their own share of problems too. I agree, yes, they are more advanced and developed than Nigeria, but how many of these terror attacks take place in America on a daily basis? Within 1 month, in some of the researches I have made, United States of America was confronted with more than 20 terror attacks ranging from one state to another. They call it mass shooting, but killing of innocent lives and destruction of properties of people is terror. It's an act of terror. So they are facing their own attendant consequences of terrorism in their own country.
Right. Let me get a few more questions for you. Go ahead.
Okay, sir. What exactly is the unfairness here? Because as we speak, papers are reporting that there's a stop and search already happening at the National Assembly complex before anybody can have access. So is it that there was an intelligence and that we're all working at it, whether they are working in their own method or we are working with our own methods here, or it's just that they issued advisory?
As a chairman, I am answering this question as a member of the National Assembly. Okay. The stop and start in the National Assembly does not start now. National Assembly, through the various security architects in Nigeria, had its own security information too regarding to some of this breakdown of law and order that is intended to be made in some of those institutions, even before United States of America could speak. So the fact that there is such stop and start in National Assembly, it is not as a result of the United States of American output. No, it has been there. They are renovating the National Assembly. The gate of the National Assembly is not controlled. So that is an institution of government that you don't expect people to just be going in the way they want. So it's a natural security measure put in place by the leadership of the National Assembly, even before the information could come from the United States of America.
Let me pause.
So what I'm saying here is this.
Let me pause you for a second because I have to bring in Colonel Hassan Stan Lambo to join this conversation. He is a retired officer and a counter-terrorist expert with wealth of experience garnered from his numerous international engagements in Liberia, Sierra Leone, Darfur, Bakassi, and so many other places. So he's also one person who would like to join this conversation. Good morning, Colonel. Are you there?
Good morning. Thank you.
Good to have you on the show, sir. You joining the conversations. I don't know if you've heard all the conversation we've been having before you came on. Some might look at it as a sort of ego tripping where it's, we're a sovereign nation, US cannot tell us what to do, we know our intelligence, it's our home country. We get that, and I think many Nigerians understand that. But in your view, do you think there was a terror alert without the US issuing a terror alert? Nigeria itself should have been aware of this intelligence. What have they done? Because Nigerians feel that maybe the US was doing them a favor by giving them this information ahead of time so they don't lose their lives. What's your thinking along this line? Do you think Nigeria took the right decision or we were late to the party?
Well, I wouldn't know what official, thank you for having me. I wouldn't know what official decision we have taken yet as a country, because all I have heard is our information minister, do I say condemning the line of action by the US and so on. I would want to agree that this is something that could have been discussed first with our military authorities, with our government, and before it is brought out, they have to now notify their own non-essentials in their various embassies. But whatever the case, I would have loved that we're not a situation of look, ignore the messenger, but take the message serious. Ignore the messenger, take the message serious. If we do that, I think it helps us. All sorts of things have been said as to why this alert. No one felt these guys have done anything good. They will spread this one funny, one ethnic thing about Nigeria or the other. And so along the same line, alerts like these are coming up with a view to maybe embarrass us and to set our country in some competition.
I'm having trouble hearing.
But one thing we should bear in mind is that
it's a bit low, sir.
You can't hear me?
Yeah, it was a bit low on your end. We're having trouble hearing you properly.
Oh my God.
While we're fixing that, I'll get the ladies to ask the other question too.
Yes. So my question really is, and I think any one of you can answer this for me, is why are we so concerned about how the United States or the UK is dealing with protecting their citizens? And it makes me worry that if we had such an intelligence about the safety of Nigerians abroad, would we be playing in such a way that we do not offend the host countries, to the detriment of the safety of our own citizens? For me, I feel that as a country, for them, their citizens are so important to them that they're willing to send out an alert to them, an updated travel advisory. And I'm hoping that that is what we will do if it happened in our case with our citizens living outside our country.
I'd like Honorable Gaji to take that question. Did you get that, sir?
Well, I think there is a difference between travel alerts to U.S. citizens in Nigeria and issuing a security intelligence report to the citizens. In the manner that the United States of America Embassy acted, it wasn't an information to its own citizens to safeguard the life of the citizens of the United States of America in Nigeria. They operated as if they are the Nigerian government institution. They issued that intelligence alert to the entire country. If you look at the content of that, it is against the modus operandi of any country operating its own embassy within a sovereign nation. If they are to talk to the citizens of Nigeria, they should route it through Nigerian government. United States Embassy in Nigeria is not Nigerian government. So that information was not made to the citizens of the United States of America. And secondly, if there is collaboration between Nigeria and the United States of America, I believe there is a better way through government activities, through government transactions that you could call the attention of Nigerian government in such a way that information about security of lives and properties of the people of this country should be classified, and therefore it should be communicated to government agencies in the most classified way. And that is why, if Nigerian people decide to misinterpret the position of that particular intel, they are right, because to me, that information is not meant to save and to help Nigeria. Rather, it undermines Nigeria as an institution. It undermines Nigeria as a sovereign nation, because that information was not meant for United, even to their own citizens. There is a way they should have acted. I believe, assuming the U.S. Embassy issued that information to their own citizens, what stopped them from issuing? Their citizens and Nigerian citizens are the same. Are they undermining the capacity of the various intelligence agencies and intelligence communities in Nigeria that they will not have channel such information to them, and equally give them the modus operandi, how to creep those things that are coming up. To me, that is an abuse, it's an insult, and it's unacceptable.
All right. We need to get Colonel Stan Lambo back in this conversation. I'm also security expert, Mr. Sheyi Adetayo. So we'll go on a break. When we come back, we get the two gentlemen back on this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy Eastplash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it. Thanks for staying with us. We still have our guests with us. Yes, Bisi had a question for Connor or Sheyi Adetayo?
Yes, Sheyi Adetayo. So I would ask now, going forward, what should be the government's position if this sort of disrespect, like some of you have coined it, has happened to the Nigerian system? What should be their next response? Not reaction this time around, but response. That's one. Secondly, after the Kuje prison break, the DSS came out and told us that they had about 44 alerts and reports that were presented, and yet nothing was done about it. Do you think that is mainly the reason the US will say, okay, instead of going straight to the government, why don't we just issue this security alert to the people? Maybe then the government will move to do something. Do you think that's the mindset?
Okay, let me start from your second question. You see,
oh, we can't hear you. Hello? Oh, we're having a bit
intelligence report.
Go ahead.
From our own people to our own people.
Okay, we're having a bit of network issues with Mr. Adetayo. Colonel Lambo, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you.
Okay, so I'll direct another question to you because we're still trying to get Mr. Adetayo to respond to BC's question. But I like the fact that you're on a different perspective. You believe that what the United States and UK government did was not wrong and that they were actually just conveying the message to their own citizens. Could you give me clarity on that? Because we didn't hear you very well. Yeah. You were saying something really important before we got disconnected. But let me let you say your perspective on this issue again. Colonel Lambo, are you there? Hello? Okay, I think we're having technical issues. It's important that we get his perspective because he, I think, seemed to agree that it wasn't such a bad approach for the US and UK government. So I'm told that Honorable is still on the phone. Honorable, are you still there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So let me direct this question to Honorable. Honorable,
yes, sir. So I was asking a question. I said, going forward, what do you think should be our government's response, not reaction now, but response to how they feel they have been mistreated by the UK and the US advisory that was given? That's one. Then secondly, we heard after the Kuje prison break that the DSS said they had presented about 44 alerts to the government, and yet we didn't see any move to stop that Kuje prison break. Do you think that is one of the reasons that may have, made the US government decide to just go straight to telling the people what they had suspected and not liaising with the government because they are afraid the government may not do anything about it?
Well, when it comes to security issues, I am unpolitical. And as a member of the National Assembly, I should have ideas, deep-rooted ideas of what happened regarding to Kuje prison. I have never supported government in what happened in Kuje. It's a clear case of government failure to respond to issues that need to be responded to. That, I would say it without any fear of political representation. It is unacceptable also to the people of this country for agencies of government to have security intel and refuse to act on those security intelligence until what happened. It's unacceptable. Just like I say without any fear again of political misrepresentation that what U.S. government did is unacceptable to us, to me, as a representative of the people of Nigeria. If Kuje prison fails, it doesn't mean United States of America will operate a country within a country. They should allow Nigeria to confront the failure of government, the inept attitude of government towards insecurity. But to come and give information simply because you are anticipating that government will not respond, I think you cannot compromise the sovereignty of one country simply because you think that there is a failure in terms of security management of that country.
I totally agree with you on the issue of sovereignty, and I think it is wrong for any other country to come here and, in such a way disrespect our sovereignty as a nation. But let's talk about the precedents that have been set over the years. The American government do not seem to have, in any way consulted any security agents, not even the highest of the ranks, when they come here to rescue their own citizens. Yes. Also, they do not in any way seem to have always consulted when they, later come out and say, when they even advise security agents on, for instance, the Chibok girls' abductions, that they suggested where the girls were and, suggested help, that their advice was not taken. These are on records in public.
My sister, you are saying the obvious. You are stating the obvious. Our major problem is when it comes to security matters, we try to bring emotions and politics into it. We are not supposed to politicize security matters. If it is A, it's A. If it is B, it's B. What United States of America is supposed to help Nigeria. I do not see them in any way helping Nigeria in this circumstance. I do not see them. You can come from the United States of America to rescue your citizens. But Nigerian citizens are under captive. You will not give them the information on how to rescue their own citizens. Where is the partnership? Where is the collaboration? I think whatever the intention of this intel is supposedly expected to achieve, it is dead on arrival. If that information means to help Nigerians, may God help United States of America. But if it is intended to undermine the sovereignty of this country by the special grace of God,
let me go to. I'm told that Colonel Lambo is back. Colonel Lambo, are you there? I really like you to respond to what Honorable Gaji just said, because from what he's saying, yes, we understand the issue of the sovereignty, but the Americans obviously don't want to take any chances with their own citizens. Yeah. So they'd rather issue that kind of alert than depend on the Nigerian government to save their own citizens. What are your thoughts on this? I'd really like to hear your perspective on this issue, Colonel Lambo.
Yeah, thank you so much. Fantastic. It is important we understand that countries that are also of sovereign status like us have some level of responsibility also to their citizens by virtue of the social contract which the home governments have with their citizens. In things like this, they strive to make sure that part of that social contract, of course, is adhered to. Like we all know, it comes in two components. There is a security component of the social contract and the welfare component. What here is of relevance to them is the security component. How do we protect our citizens here? How do we get them out of danger? And so on. And that's why they went into the whole idea of, extracting the non-essentials, some of them to go home, some relocate to other cities, and so on and so forth. This might not really mean so much where we have governments in place who don't really take the social contract they have with we ordinary citizens serious. So they begin to wonder what's happening. So we must understand what's ongoing. Fine, they have come up with the alerts. Fine, they did not do what we expect them to do by making sure that, of course, they first, make our governments to be privy to this information before it spreads out there. And even if it had got to spread out in a manner that will create so much panic amongst our citizens and so on. Already we're in a terrible situation already. We should not get citizens out there in the street looking more confused again. Fine. But in the course of doing that too, we must give it to them that have the responsibility to protect their own citizens. More so when they take their social contract very serious. We don't take it serious, yeah? We take it serious, yeah?
So it looks more like we are more interested in our own sovereignty or the way we look as a nation compared to how they take their own citizens. But I'd like to ask you in your own perspective, Colonel Stan Lambo, do you think Nigerian security operatives have the capacity to avert any imminent threats of this level in our country?
My sister, I have served armed forces well over 31 years. I know the capability of the Nigerian military. I know the capability of the DSS to an extent because we have operated along line of defense. Okay? Operationally, I have fought with the same military in Liberia. I have fought with them in Sierra Leone. I have fought with them in Benghazi. I have fought with them in Darfur. All international operations. So when I talk about the capability and sister agencies, I know what I'm talking about. Yes, we can. If you want me to answer that, we can with the right leadership at the helm of affairs. We can with the right leadership as the commander-in-chief. I'm afraid I only hope to have a leadership today.
Okay, so let me engage Sheyi Adebayo. We're going to have a comment.
Yes, Colonel, please. Do you think we should focus on the message and not so much as the messenger and how the message is being passed? Do you think Nigerian
this is for Colonel Stan Lambo, please. I'll come back to you,
Stan Lambo. Do you think the Nigerian government right now should begin to quiz into what probably the US has seen and find a way to share that intelligence so that they can begin to move? Because I don't think that the US will just want to, raise panic for their people. I don't think that's the mindset. It may be, but I'm not thinking that way. Should we focus on the message now and find ways to try as much as possible to protect the capital territory right now and even the nation as a whole? Because we've been having intelligence here and there before things happen.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I get your question clearly. And in my opening sentence here, I said it, that we could disregard the messenger, but take the message serious. And in taking the message serious, we should even look beyond Abuja. Because let's face it, the insurgents we are facing are not daft. By now we know they are not daft. The guys behind them are highly intelligent, well-schooled. Forget the food that looks so rough and hard. You have people with PhD degrees holding the degrees you and I hold behind them and directing affairs. So take the message, but leave the message alone. Now, in addressing the message, we should even look beyond Abuja. I keep saying this. Abuja is our administrative hub, our capital city, the seat of government. Are we taking a look of something like Lagos, which is our economic hub, Kano, which is also an economic hub, Port Harcourt? These are four major cities that hold the backbone of our economy. So we should not just concentrate on Abuja. We should also throw our eye in Lagos, throw our eyes in Kano, throw our eyes in Port Harcourt, and see how we need to take care of all the situations there. These are the major places where it strikes us to really hurt our national interest.
Let me go on a break. I have a lot of comments on social media for Mr. Sheyi Adebayo and also Honorable Gaji. There are lots of comments here for you. I'd like to take that after the break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities. Right here, within this beautiful cocktail, we...
Thanks for staying with us. So as I said, we have lots of comments and questions for Mr. Seyi Adetayo and Honorable Gaji. But let me take a question first from you, Mariam. Go ahead.
Yes. So, Mr. Seyi Adetayo, my question is, you seem to allude to the fact that there's an agenda, you know, in the way that the UK and the US have responded, in the way they have done this. What do you think the agenda is, and why now?
Okay, it is important for us to know that every country has an agenda. If Nigeria is having things to do in the US, we have our own agenda. So agenda could be good, agenda could be bad, but every agenda is towards the interest of that country, not naturally to the country of host. So this is not about conspiracy theory. And I also need to make more correction. That's something that was said before. Please, when the US came to pick their guy that was kidnapped, they informed Nigerian authorities.
Okay.
It is not something that is discussed on the paper. They did not just enter Nigeria. When British Ghost Squad came into Nigeria, I think 2010 or so, to do a rescue operation in Sokoto, it was with the knowledge of Nigerian government. They would not enter Nigerian territory without their knowledge. And thirdly, they spoke about US giving information about where Boko Haram, it was just satellite imagery. Now the decision whether you want to do a tactical, rescue mission or not, solely lies with Mr. President. It is not of inaction. You cannot go with soldiers to rescue over 300 children. There will be fatality. It has to do whether the president wants the blood of young children in his hands or he adopts a different measure to get them back home. America came to rescue one person. And mind you, when you see America carry out that operation, know that that person they came to rescue is an asset. Maybe an intelligence asset or a political asset back home. There are several other Americans kidnapped in other countries that they use back channel through the CIA to get them rescued, not through tactical operation. Please don't make America like if they are God. And I'm speaking to you also as a trade intelligence officer. We know this trade craft. So we shouldn't make it as if, Americans, they are superpower, they're bigger than us, but not means that when they do things, they are doing it extraordinarily.
All right, let me take a few comments. I think I got the point, sir. Let me get a few comments, because there's so many comments, and I would like to take a few of them. I have the message from Eleni Toba Johnson, and she said a few things. She said, do you understand the Nigerians record deaths, kidnappings, etc. daily without consequences to perpetrators? That is the biggest threat and cause of panic, not necessarily the U.S. government's issue of alert. Secondly, coming to talk about sovereignty of Nigeria on air is almost like a joke, because are we only sovereign externally and can't prove sovereignty in protecting our own within? She also said that Americans' issue of travel advisory does not heighten panic. It gravely saddens us to see a government go all out to protect their own outside their country. We who are here are left to our own fate. That's one comment. Another person, Mr. Adeboye, was saying that such should never happen again. Our country must conduct itself responsibly enough to earn the trust and respect of other foreign entities within our own shores. Too many unbelievable breaches have diminished our integrity in the eyes of other nations, such as the Kuje jailbreak, Abuja to Kaduna train kidnapping. So these are the things that even the people within Nigeria kind of distrust or even mistrust the Nigerian government when it comes to the issue of security. So they rather believe when the foreign government says there's a terror alert. So how do you respond? I'd like the Honorable Jaji to start with, and I'll come to Mr. Shea.
Have you listened to commentaries in the United States on issues around security by their own citizens, accusing their own government of inactions? Our own is even small. Who are still the commentaries over there? It is normal all over the world. There are issues. We are having issues there. What is denying that? Same way Americans are having issues there in their own country. We need to understand. Do we have to do more? Yes, we need to do more. Should we keep our government to task to ensure that yes, we need to do? But please, my argument is this: don't make Nigeria to look as if we are the most horrible and the most failed nation. The same America, the citizens are saying worse to their government as we're speaking now. People are being killed. Children are being killed in school. Because people are shooting people. Like there's terror acts going on in that country. So it's not that they've been able to hold. And then secondly, when you talk about they have right, yes, they have right. But for crying out loud, for a country that enjoys so much support from the Nigerian government, it's just like when you have a friend, something happened and your friend cannot tell you, and then your friend start packing the things out of your house because of that, then you feel betrayed. There's an issue of betrayal here. And you know, on top of it, the question is, so why are you running? Nothing to show.
Okay, let me let Colonel respond to that. Mr. Desire, let me let Colonel Sanlambo respond to what you just said. Do you agree with him?
Which of the aspects now? Because frankly, there are some angels out there in the space who will just come down and perform some magic. The point is that we can also hold our own. Like I said the last time I spoke, we can also hold our own. Our security agencies are not that big. We know who we are. We have trained with these same Americans and the out there, and by the time we're done training with them, we get to understand that, look, these guys are not really what at times we think they are, because we discover that I've been better off. I have had the call to see them turning to us for, solutions and so on. But when it's high tech, yes, give it to them, and that technology aspect really puts them ahead. But for the after technology, forget it. We are good. The Nigerian trained security is damn good. I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I have gone through it and I know what I'm saying.
Okay.
Our DSS apps are solved very well.
Okay, so it's just like the message my colleague Morel just read out about how we ourselves respond to, threats or alerts or intelligence reports when it comes to our people, or even outright attack on our people. How we respond might have informed this. Because I did not see the US presently in Russia trying to rescue an American or anyone who is willing to stay there. Even though they issued an alert, nobody entered anybody's country. But when it comes to Nigeria, maybe it's our own attitude that, opposes us to this kind of things, the way we are feeling right now.
Yeah. Honorable, would you like to take that, Honorable Gaji?
Yes, I'm been anxious to respond. I have said something carelessly, but I think we didn't get it right. When you mix emotions, politics, and security, it doesn't work. There are three different things. When it comes to security, you don't bring emotion in it, you don't bring sentiment in it, you don't bring politics in it. And when we get this, we'll get it right. I'm not saying America are wrong to issue statements. Everybody should get me right. But the way and manner the statement is issued is not to American citizens. Let's get that one clear. It is to the Nigerian people. And U.S. cannot operate government in government. Secondly, I cannot trust a country that over the years has predicted the destabilization of Nigeria as a nation. I can remember we used to put students of history, where the same United States of America some years ago issued statement predicting that Nigeria will not be a sovereign nation within some years. Then how will I trust intel from those countries? Then lastly or thirdly, this same America that can come and rescue its own citizens, what are the operational efforts, contribution with the level of loyalty Nigeria is to the United States of America? Can you tell me one single operational commitment that the United States of America have offered the Nigerian Security Agency in terms of curtailing banditry, in terms of curtailing kidnapping, in terms of curtailing Boko Haram? Mention one operational effort that Nigerians can clearly see that this is coming from the United States of America. I do not know of any as a member representing the people of the country, and as a member who is privileged also to be in an armed force committee of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Then lastly, what are we talking about? Nobody is saying Nigerian government is doing well in times of insecurity. But because our government are not doing well in times of insecurity, we must have hope, we must be patriotic, we must pray, we must be able to believe that one day, this Nigeria that we are seeing like this will be the best country for all of us. The action of Nigerian government towards insecurity, I am one of the parliament that will say anywhere that is not acceptable. I condemn it every moment it comes up, either on the floor of the house or we speak for my opinion. But that does not mean I should allow another country to come and continue to create problem within my own problem that I cannot manage. That does not mean I should not respect the sovereignty of Nigeria. Because there is kidnapping, there is banditry, there is Boko Haram and so on. It does not mean we should allow any country to come and operate a country within a country.
Okay, I have to go on a break, Honorable. I'm still a bit confused because on one side of the mouth you're saying that yes, our security isn't up to standard based on what we've done, and on the other bit you're saying that one country is trying to protect its own citizens. So how do we reconcile both? You were saying let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll try to clarify this better. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT.
Loads of comments and questions for Honorable Gaji and Mr. Sheyadita, but let me take the first question from you.
Yes, a very short one. So now that Nigeria is feeling like the US and the UK did us dirty, is it possible that we sanction them? Is there any guideline on how these sort of things are treated when it happens?
Honorable, would you like to take that?
Yes. Nigeria needs diplomatic reaction or response to this matter.
Okay.
Because, like you said, you get lost at the moment when I said that there is a failure in insecurity in Nigeria in one way or the other, and again, U.S. citizens raising alarm against its citizens. Just like the United States of America, Nigeria has its own internal security issues. The United States of America has them, but it doesn't make their own citizens lose hope in them. They keep on looking at the government and praying and being a patriotic citizens of those countries to make sure that things work. So one opportunity I will use here is the way Nigerians are reacting to this issue. We should not be unpatriotic. I believe we should have hope that this country will work one day. We should be able to appreciate, even with the attendant in maintaining the insecurity in Nigeria, we should be able to commend the security sector for doing the best they can do within themselves. But pray for a better leadership that will come one day and rescue us from the shackle of insecurity.
All right.
But as for diplomatic, as for responding to what they are doing, I think the Nigerian government, parliament, including myself, and the executive arm of government should have a diplomatic reaction to this. We should define the rules of engagement with the United States of America, telling them Nigeria is a country who appreciate its own failure in terms of insecurity, just like the United States of America has its own agenda in insecurity. But please, we must be treated with respect and decorum. We must not be able, you shouldn't be given information to citizens of this country that would further raise tension in this. We are already facing a lot. There are a lot of problems in the hands of every Nigerian. For Nigeria to work with those commitments from the United States of America, they are not helping us, and I stand by that.
All right. Well, Mike, unfortunately, many of our phone calls can't come in because obviously all our lines are tied up right now speaking to our guests. So I have to take a few messages from our social media. So let me start with Mariam. Let's take a few messages and then we can respond to them a bit later. Go ahead, please, Mariam.
Okay, Shege Reloaded says, the Nigerian government is in no place in this current state of the nation to assure anyone of security. The president was attacked and we didn't hear anything about the perpetrators of the attack. Ministers and commissioners have been kidnapped and they did nothing.
Immaculate Boy says, please tell your guests that I received, as a citizen of the U.S., email alerts by the U.S. State Department in February not to go to Kaduna by train or road. Their duty is to me and other citizens of America in Nigeria. So this brings to me my conspiracy theory. How come they know that, the trains will be attacked?
Yes.
Is there an unseen hand behind our problems that are unending in this country when it comes to security? We know that, some countries are involved in partners with those who are stealing our crude because our crude is not refined here. And the person brings in crude from this country stolen and is refined somewhere else. There are no partnerships, no treaties that brings those issues to question. Are there unseen hands behind our issues in this country? And how is Nigeria going to deal with it? If truly,
Okay, am I to respond?
Go ahead, please. Any one of you, especially honorable.
Okay, now, one of the messages from a dual citizens that said that he got an alert about the issue of the train was something everybody was anticipating. It had happened in December already before that time. So US did not get anything special that we did not know. And the DSS had already written to NRC about possible impending an attack, but it's about political decisions, whether you want to shut down the rail system and allow these people to be able to win, or you want to continue and see whether you can stop them. That is one. Then there is this one, former FBI director, Luis Frey. He wrote a book called My FBI. Now, from his own narration, he said he had to take the decision and force the U.S. government and Congress to support the approval for FBI to have foreign offices. The reason is that to ensure that instead of them staying at home and fighting terror at home, they want to take the war out to fight terror from outside so that they can deal with terror before it gets to their own country. So U.S. presence here is for their own interest at home, not in our own interest. Please take note of this. They're not doing this for us. They're doing this for themselves. So who is benefiting more from this relationship? They are benefiting more than us. They are getting information from us. They have no technology, special technology within which they use to know anything here. Whatever they know in Nigeria is largely 90% what they get from Nigerian government, Nigerian security agencies. The only major support, the only area they reciprocate to us is what they give to us about things coming from outside that they have access to that can be beneficial to us or can be inimical to our own security. And I'm telling you the basic truth, that is the truth. We should not start treating as if, oh, Nigeria cannot survive without them. No, we can't, but we need them. They are useful to us, but as much as we must respect that relationship, we must reciprocate that relationship because they need as much information from us to keep the homeland America safe. And that is the truth about this. And it's high time Nigerians will set aside politics, ethnicity, religion, and begin to look at this nation as our own. If this country destabilized today, no country will open their doors to us. Look at what's happening to us in Dubai already.
Fantastic.
What happens to us in Ghana? We must work together and make this country work.
All right, let me take Honorable Gaji's final comments, and I'll come to Colonel Lambo to give us his final comments. Yes, Honorable, your final comments on this.
Well, the issue of crude oil theft she raised in relation to America, what is happening, is a topic on its own. And by the special grace of God, some of us will begin to speak off to Nigerians to know what really is happening. What we know, Nigerian people need to know. There is no need for us to hide anything. But I appeal. I use this opportunity to appeal. It hits me hard if I see Nigerians talking as if they are not Nigerians. It makes me feel frustrated when we don't believe in this country, a country that we have, a country that our past forefathers have, a country that our children have and unborn children have. We must believe in this country. We must equally accept our deficiencies, work together and see how this country is going to work for the unborn children.
Thank you so much.
We should not fall in the trap of other developed nations by creating.
Oh, sugar, we lost that call. But let me take Honorable Colonel Stan Lambo's final comments before we wrap up. Colonel, are you there?
Thank you very much. Yes, please. Yes. I just want to say that, are we surprised that our citizens are paying more attention to what the Americans are saying than what our own home governments are saying?
I'm not surprised now.
If our government wants to take and conduct itself ensuring that the social contract it has with the people to protect citizens. Nigerians today have nearly an 8-year history of a government that is not protective enough and not taking us seriously and not listening to us. So when situations like this come, you begin to wonder, why is the average Nigerian not patriotic enough? He has lost the confidence he has in you. Because there is a trust deficit between you or the people and the government. Government should sit up. Thank you.
Thank you. We have to wrap up. You know, sometimes I was having a conversation with somebody recently, and they were saying that there are times we pray to God for certain things, and those things don't come through. But does that mean that we don't have faith in God? We don't trust that at some point those things will come. As a nation, yes, we have the social contract, just like Colonel Stan Lambo said, has been breached. Definitely, Nigerians on many occasions don't trust the government. But the truth is that, just like Mr. Sheyi Adetaya said, we don't have any other place to go. This is the only country. God forbid anything happens, no country will open their doors for 200 million Nigerians. It's impossible. So even though this contract has been breached, we don't trust, we've lost government, we have to find somewhere within our heart and mind to even a tiny mustard faith that, okay, maybe this country can indeed defend itself, defend its sovereignty. We must find that, because that's the only way we can support the government to do what is best. And the government must take this as feedback from the people that, listen, we need to earn the trust. You need to earn the trust of the Nigerian people. They can protect us. We don't need to depend on the foreign country to issue a terror alert for us to react. We should be able to hear from the DSS consistently, hear from the president consistently as the commander-in-chief to say he's on top indeed of the security of the people. When we hear from you and we know, then we are reassured that our government indeed can secure the people. That's the only way you can earn the trust of the Nigerian people. Let's go. That's all we can take on today's show. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.